What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Apparently, we have somebody else that was recently fired from their job, but you know it always go a little bit different for women, so we're going to break that down. But this is courtesy of the New York Post, best description of it, just for references purposes. And this a flight attendant was recently fired for twerking on a job. And what's wrong with a little twerk before work is what she said. So let me first show you guys the actual video of what that looked like. And we can remove the audio. It's not that big of a deal. That's her doing what she do, fulfilling whatever the latest trend is on social media and TikTok, as usual. Twerk City in the building. That's pretty much it. Nothing else to see here. But I always like to give credit to the content creator, so I'll be putting her profile pic. Actually, you could just find it here. And this is her profile if you want to go find her on TikTok, apparently. But this woman is the one that was twerking on a plane on Alaska Airlines. Goes on to say they deemed the stunt not safe for twerk. Ha ha. Anyways, an Alaskan Airlines flight attendant who was sacked for twerking on camera has created a GoFundMe to support her while she seeks her new birth. The crew member, named Nell Diala, has filmed a viral booty shaking TikTok video on a plane while waiting 2 hours for the captain to arrive. Uh, of course, obviously, we know that that's the twerking video or whatever. She captioned a clip which blew up on Instagram. Ghetto be to la DIE. Don't let the uniform fool you. Goes on to say she was reportedly doing the dance while to celebrate the end of her new hire probationary period. And see, that's the part that's stupid, is because you was on probation, which means that you actually needed the job, you wanted the job, and the minute that and this is why you have to vet people to find out whether or not they're a cultural fit. The minute that you then end your probationary period, what people don't understand is that unlike the unions of yesteryear, a lot of times you ending your probationary period does not necessarily mean that you don't violate company code and conduct that would allow for you to get fired. The probationary period really just kicks in all of the benefits and things like that, but it doesn't protect you from yourself and doing stupid stuff. And so a lot of these people are ratchet every single day. They willing to put their jobs on the line for TikTok. And then, they'll often at times say they don't care, but we know that that's not true. How do we know that that's not true? Because we can go over to the GoFundMe. Now, there's a couple of different ways to take this GoFundMe, and she don't have a twerk picture up there on the GoFundMe, but she got her Alaskan Airlines. Oh my God, look at me. I am a flight attendant. Look up, right? Now she's looking to raise $12,000, and there has already been 68 Simps that is donated. Isn't that crazy? When I've done review videos of other people that has gotten fired, mostly guys, because we harder on guys over here than we are on women, contrary to popular belief. It's just a lot of women that's in their feelings. They're always being saved from themselves. Always. Always. And this is what gives them the attitude that they have towards you. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. We can read more and we can make sure that we get Nell's explanation. Look at this. $21, $300. Oh, was she her own first donation, or is that her mother's name? Let's see the top donations. 300, 205. Jeremy, you decided to let your name be known. Marquise, Clarence. Clarence's parents had a really good marriage. Michael, Carlos, Carmen, George, Rashid, Christopher, Jason Sachs. Yeah, these guys is incredible. Crazy, 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 crazy. It's always a bunch of guys that simp out and want to save her from herself because for whatever reason you think that you're going to fly her in. Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all pay women that you don't know that don't add any value into your life? That is so weird to me. Anyways, her explanation goes, I never thought a single moment would cost me everything. I worked as a flight attendant for Alaska Airlines for over 6 months. In between those 6 months, both my English bulldogs died unexpectedly. How many of us actually believe that? Not saying that it's not true. Just asking how many of y'all actually believe that. My relationship was rocky because of the time I spent away. But I love my job, meet new people, seeing the world and creating a safe, welcoming environment for passengers. It wasn't always easy, but I was proud of what I did. You just got off of this probationary period. You ain't even been there that long. Although this was my dream job, I was using the income to fund my blossoming lingerie and dessert business named Cakes and Cake and Figure Eight Lingerie. Boutique, anyone? All right. One day during a layover, I posted a lighthearted video on my social media account. It was a harmless clip that was recorded at 6 a.m. while waiting 2 hours for pilots. I was also celebrating the end of probation and making it out of a hard upbringing in San Francisco. Life something many people in the industry could relate to. The video went viral overnight, but instead of love and support, it brought unexpected scrutiny. Maybe you should read the room. Remain professional on the job 100% of the time. The job, no matter what the job is not there for you to show off and bring dysfunction and chaos and bad scrutiny to the company that you work for. I can't stress this enough. The job is there for you to provide a living for yourself so you can obviously fund your businesses, not so you can embarrass your employer. Although it was a poor decision on my behalf, I didn't think it would cost me my dream job. Well, at least you took some responsibility. My employer accused me of violating their social media policy. I explained that the video wasn't intended to harm anyone or the company, but they didn't want to listen. Without warning, they terminated me, which they have the right to do. No discussion, no chance to defend myself, no chance for a thorough and proper investigation. What is the investigation? You have a twerk video on the internet on their airline embarrassing their brand that they've worked years and years and put countless dollars into marketing. Losing my job was devastating. I've always been careful about what I share online and never thought this video, which didn't even mention the airline by name, would cost me my career. Now I'm trying to figure out how to move forward. Listen, y'all, when you work for these people, when you work for these companies, even if you're not on the job at the time, when you say egregious things, you are a reflection and a representation of the company itself. If people find out where you work, it could look bad on the company that you work at. That's why even me personally, like I wouldn't even name, and I took the risk, but they took the risk of hiring me considering that my platform is what it is. And I wouldn't even move up into a bigger position because it would then create more visibility for the company and it would be easier, especially with my YouTube channel, kind of getting more visibility, especially what was going on over last year, right? So it was time. It was time. And I also understood that if I was to ever get let go unceremoniously, which thankfully that didn't happen, then it would be valid. But I had other things that I was doing that was much more profitable, so I wasn't worried about it. And it was only supposed to be a temporary situation that got extended in the first place. So it was like money on the board. But you are a reflection of the company that you work for. Do not doubt it. Don't sit here and make excuses for it. You can't do what you want to do and still be employed. And maybe you guys should read the company policy and guidelines before you sign up or before you decide to do something like this. She says she started to GoFundMe to make ends meet due to the sudden loss of income and still able to find another flight and still until I am able to find another flight attendant position elsewhere. I've learned from my mistakes, and those don't define me. We listen and we don't judge. No, we listen and we definitely judge. And so again, you got a bunch of simps that's on here, definitely shooting a shot and raising money with no shot in hell. And so she's over there doing that. It says Alaska Airlines nipped her employment, and she still feels like she didn't really do much wrong. She has since reposted the twerking clip with the new caption, "Can't even be yourself anymore without the world being so sensitive. What's wrong with a little twerk before work? People act like they never did that before." And so that's when she reposted it. They said the disgraced stewardess even set up a GoFundMe. Yeah, it's pretty crazy because you can't say at the time that they posted this, it was only $182, but as the Simps find out, they obviously contributed to the funds. But the interesting part about this is that you can't do it. Like you can't say, I regret this decision, but then repost it because you're now starting to get a viral moment and you still want to work as a stewardess or I'm sorry, not a stewardess, a flight attendant, but you still posting this type of content and you put it back up. And if you go through her profile, she now like, I'm bothered. These are the trips that I'm taking and all of this other nonsense. So Again, you guys can go and check that out for yourself if you want to go and look at her profile. But obviously, we know that it's hard to hold women accountable, or it's hard for people to take accountability for their circumstances when you always have somebody that's willing to save them from themselves. You guys let me know what you think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.